So already it's been a late actually. So we'll start working on we'll be working on these particular examples today on Python and how we people are going to start working on Python full stack. So before giving my particular session, let me give some kind of small kind of introduction regarding me. So myself, Rajshekar, who develops end-to-end projects which on designing side and as well as in a database and as well as in a programming side completely on different technology like PHP, Java, Python, Ruby. We do like Perl, and we do have other shift languages working with iOS mobile devices and as well as an Android technologies also. So as of today, we are going with a small workshop regarding the Python full stack development. Before going to this particular introduction, I want to have our particular agenda today. So what are the agenda that we are going to deal with as of today's session is working with some in the morning session, like in the first talk, we will be dealing with something called as Python introduction. Next one is Python full stack development, what exactly we deal with actually, and what are the technologies we include in the full stack development. And the second one is we people are going to dealing with Python programming language, how do we kickstart and how we write some kind of programming on the Python, and the difference between the human languages and as well as in the computer languages, how we people can differentiate both the things. And the fifth one is Python advantages and what kind of an applications we people are going to build, and what kind of an applications we are building now and we are doing research. I'll be showing some kind of examples on machine learning and as well as an artificial intelligence applications that we people are building on as of now. And next one is we people are going to build some kind of console applications, and second one is we people are building some kind of fundamentals like operator using the operators, conditional control flow statements. After that, we'll be going with the GUI applications. I don't even start with the console applications. I will be jumping into the GUI application directly, like how we people can start a mini project and as well as a small project will be built as of today's session, like configuring, designing, programming, and database. The three things will be configured in the afternoon session, most probably. In the morning session, we'll be covering the designing concepts and as well as the programmatical concepts in the first half. And the last one, and the introduction to the student application, which we will be building a small application which is related to the student, and followed by I'll be providing some small homework for you people, like an assignment kind of thing. And in the afternoon session, we people are going to start working with database and what exactly database works on and how the database workflows on. And next one is working with the GUI application and as well as a configuration between the GUI applications and as well as database and as well as the programming. The three things will be covered as of today's session. And tomorrow session, we will be covering some kind of web applications, creating some small e-commerce website or some other websites. We people are going to start with that. So let us start. Let us start now working with Python full stack development. Before going to start with a Python full stack development, I want to have a few questions for you people. What exactly after the training you are done with when you go to the software industry or software company, what exactly you people are going to deal with actually? Are you people are going to develop some kind of software, or you people are going to build some kind of applications? So what you are going to do when you go for a company? Why not the software? So we should know before starting the session, we have to know what exactly the software and what exactly the application. So what is in a software and what is meant by an application? Can anyone do you have any idea on what exactly the software is and as well as what exactly the application is? Like what we do? Okay. So what was that? Like what we people can do with that application actually? So what is meant by software? Basically, what we do with the software and what we are going to do with an applications, and how applications can be built and how we people can build within a software. So let us see. Python is in a software. It's not an application, basically. And if you work within a Java is a software. It's not an application. Applications, if you're working at your homes like in a VLC player, or if you people are using some browsers, those are all the applications built within some kind of softwares. A software is nothing but a particular programmatical part where we people are going to build some kind of an application to reduce our work basically. So applications were produced from the softwares. So most of the people call it as a software, or some people used to call it as we are going to build a software. Never ever we people are going to build a software, because to build a software we should require a merging of technologies and as well as a knowledge to build some kind of working on kernel side and as well as an operating system side basically. So as once you people are placing in some XYZ company, you people will be developing on the applications, not on the software. So softwares can also be built with the programming languages and as well as the programs. So let us start now how the particular Python programming is going to be done, and as well as in how our particular full stack development is going to be differentiated. Let me differentiate the things actually. So before starting this particular Python full stack development, I think you people heard something, call it as designing of front end. I hope everyone had a word known as front end. UI, UX, user interface, and as well as a user experience. So user interface and user experience is nothing but the way of designing that you do. Suppose if you people are operating your mobile applications like YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, or any other third-party applications or mobile apps which you are using, those are all nothing but a user experience actually. So the Python, we people are going to divide our particular program into two particular parts actually as of today. The first one we people are going to deal with, as of today, we people are going to deal with the first and foremost thing. The first thing we are going to start working with an front end. We are going to start with front end, and next one we people are going to start working with something we call it as an. I think you people heard a word known as backend. Acha, database. In my case, I call two particular things here. The backend, we do have two things. Backend technology is one, and backend database is one. So here we do have a backend technology, and at the same time we do have a backend database. We call it as a backend database. So three things that we will be covering as of today. So backend database. So let us see what is meant by front end and how we people are going to start working with this particular front end. In this particular front end, we people are going to start working with something we call it as in a HTML basically. That is known as a HTML file. We people are starting. At the same time, we people are working with something we call it as a CSS3. And next we people are going to start working with JS, which is known as a JavaScript. And there are a few other frameworks that we do have. So we people are going to work something on frameworks. That is in frameworks that is in React.js. I hope you people heard a word known as React.js. And next one we call it as an AngularJS. So this is where we people are going to make some kind of web frameworks to operate the things. Next one we do have a backend technologies basically. So let us see what is meant by backend technologies. We people are going to cover in our particular topics. Python fundamentals. We people are going to start work with Python fundamentals. So I think you people heard a word known as Python core, Python advanced. There won't be any kind of Python core and advanced. There will be only one particular course. The marketing people were divided into different kind of core and as well as an advanced. There is nothing difference between the core and advanced. Everything is the same, like in a programming language only. They differentiated few topics into the advanced side and few topics into the core side actually. So don't make that particular differentiation. So to make understandable for you people, I divided into three particular phases. One is Python fundamentals. Next one is Python core, and next one is Python advanced. And in this particular Python advanced and Python fundamentals, we do have some kind of specializations like I think you people know some kind of specializations. I hope so, like machine learning. You do have a different kind of ideas on that, right? So we do have something we call it as So here we do have something we call it as an AI, and we people are going to start working with something we call it as an DL. And next one we call it as ML, which we are going to call it as machine learning, artificial intelligence, and we people are starting with deep learning, and second one we people are going to call it as a machine learning actually. And at the same time, we people are going to start working with something we call it as, we call database. So I hope you people heard a word known as database. Somehow you people heard a word known as database. So let us see what is meant by a database and how we people are going to work as of today's session. Database, we people are going to cover SQL, or you can use it as an SQL server. And we people are going to cover with an Oracle, and we people can go with an SQLite, and we people can go with something we call it as an different kind of databases like an we call MS Access also, Excel sheet also. You can use that particular thing to store the data basically, but it's not protected, and as well as it's not safe side to use the MS Access and as well as MS Excel actually. So we people will be using this particular databases actually, the first thing. And here we people are going to call this particular thing, whatever you people are using, this particular thing we are going to call it as a backend. The backend is nothing but in a way a user cannot see their particular code part and as well as data. If you people are watching out your particular, if you people are going for ATM models, if you people are using Swiggy or Zomato, you people are using only the front end designing, not on the back end designing. That means you people are not accessing any database, and you people are not accessing any kind of a code part. You can't even see the code part. Just you people can see the front end design and the data which you are getting from the database and as well as in a programming that is going to be handled actually. So entire this particular thing, we are going to call this particular thing as a backend technology. Backend, we can call it as a backend. Totally, we can call this particular thing as a backend. And some people in few institutions and few organizations, they used to tell that this particular programmatical part, they used to call it as an middle end actually. It's not a middle end actually. It's purely is backend technology and as well as a backend database. A backend database and backend technology is nothing but where a particular user can't see that. Where your user can't see the database and coding or scripts. So this is what we people are going to call this particular thing as a database. This is what we people are going to call it as a backend technology, where a particular persons or a users cannot see any database and they cannot see any kind of coding or a scripting. They can only view some kind of logical parts like this. If you can see, if a particular person or a data they want to visualize or they want to retrieve the data, they used to get the data from here actually, from the databases, that whatever you people want to access or gain some kind of data or retrieve the data or what are the data that you are throwing out, everything will be stored in the database. And from the database, it is going to retrieve using some kind of programming languages, like you can call the particular programming languages like Java, you can call it C, PHP, Python, you can use Perl, you can use Ruby, you can use a Shift language, you can use Kotlin, any particular language or C#, any language that you people can use, and we can retrieve the data. And over here, we do have something we both, by using this particular both, we people are going to get some kind of combination where entire data will be, or manipulation of the data will be done by the Python actually. So using the Python only, we people are going to configure entire things for the front end. Either it can be in a web application, either it can be in a mobile application, either it can be in a desktop application. Anything that you use, a user can see only the front end, not on the back end. Back end is nothing but in a database. Suppose if, example, you people are chatting with your friends, that means you are not writing any kind of code, or you people are not writing any query languages actually. So if you're generating some kind of query or something else, that we call it as a viewing part, that is a front end. If a user is not seeing any kind of code and as well as a database, then you people can call it as a back end. So most of the people used to tell that is in a front end, middle end, back end. There is no middle end. There is only one particular backend, and backend will be divided into two particular parts. The first part is nothing but a backend technology. A technology can be anything else. It can be in a Java, it can be in a .NET, it can be in a PHP, it can be in a Python, it can be in a Ruby. Any particular programming language, you can call it as a backend technology. and there is a backend database. Backend database is nothing but something we can store some information actually, and what kind of an information and what kind of a data we store, we'll have a look in the next sessions actually. Okay. And enter this particular part, whatever you people can see, and let us discuss about the front end now. A front end is nothing but where a user can see the all the properties and images or text or this or properties of text or videos or raw data, etc., etc. All these particular things, whatever the particular people are going to view, this is what we people are going to call this particular thing as an front end. This is what we are going to call it as a front end designing actually. So front end design only you people can see, and back end technologies no other person can see actually. All these particular things we are going to call entire this particular frameworks, which we people are going to call it as an full stack development. So most of the people don't know what is meant by full stack. Full stack is nothing but divided into three particular parts. The first part we call it as a front end design. Second part we are going to call it as a back end technology, which includes anything else. It can be in a Java, .NET, it can be C#, it can be in a Python, it can be in a Ruby, Perl, PHP, whatever it is, we can call it as a technology which we are using a programming language. And next one, we do have another one known as a database. So database is nothing but where the information is going to store and what kind of information is going to store. We'll have a over part in the afternoon session after the post lunch. So here we people are going to have a look. As a developer or as a programmer, you people has to know three particular technologies actually. The first one you people should know. One is scripting language, and second one we people has to know programming language, and third one we people has to know query language. A query language which is nothing but a database. This is what we people are going to call it as a query language. We people are going to call it as a query language, which is known as a database. And next one, you do have another one known as an Python fundamentals, which is known as an programming language. And next one is the scripting language. Scripting is nothing but using HTML, CSS, JS, AngularJS, Node.js, Plain.js, React.js, R.js. You can take any kind of JavaScript languages or scripting site, which can be visible on the front end using a web application. We can call it as a scripting language actually. Scripting languages like HTML or HTML, CSS, or you can call it as a JS. Anything that you people can call is a three languages. Once if you want to go any company or to hire a company, or if I'm going to hire to my company, I have to look at to the three particular parts. A particular person should know the knowledge of scripting language, and a particular person should have a knowledge of programming language, and a particular person should know the particular query language. Query language is nothing but question and answers. Like we can handle the particular things in the afternoon sessions actually. So I hope you people understood what is meant by designing and as well as programming and as well as query. So three languages a particular programmer should have. First one is scripting, that means designing, and second one is programming, where you people are doing some kind of manipulations. And next one is a query language, which is nothing but having some kind of question and answers actually to generate the things. So we'll have that. So now we will be moving out to the programming language now, to the Python. I hope you people understood till here. And do anyone have any other doubts or questions on this? Anyone? Is that clear? Yeah. So anyone? Yeah, please, Satish. Yeah, Mr. Satish. Yeah. So let us jump into the next part now. So let us jump into the next part. So before going to Python programming language, we have to start with the Python programming. Next, we will be starting in the tomorrow session. We'll be starting scripting language, and in the afternoon session, we'll be starting query language. In the morning session, we'll be started programming language. So most of the people want to become a programmers. I hope so, but we cannot write more than 5 lines, or we cannot write minimum 100 lines. And I hope so. You people never ever wrote any kind of 500 lines of program. I hope so. So as of today's session, we'll be writing some kind of an approximately 500 lines. We'll try to finish up some kind of an application or a project. So let us see what is a Python programming language and how it's going to be differentiated. And we have to start from the scratch. Let's learn. So let us start working with a Python programming language. If I'm speak, please let me know. So, as I'm a programmer, and I always used to do was all the works in the reverse order. So let me start my particular work in the reverse order over here. Let us assume over here what is meant by a language. Let us first we have to think what is meant by a language. And next one, let us assume that what is meant by a programming. And let us assume what is meant by Python. So we have to differentiate these three things independently. So everyone used to teach Python programming language. I will do everything in the reverse order. So let me do the reverse engineering. So what is meant by language then? What is meant by language and why we have to use the language? And in general, not in the technical side I'm talking. In general side, what is language in common and non-technical? What is a language? Can we call it as a communication? A language is nothing but an communication. Okay, so most of the people know what is meant by a communication. What is meant by a communication? A communication here. Let us see what is meant by communication. So as you people say that it's not communication. So what is a communication? Interaction between a one particular person to another person, one person to two people, 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1 lakh. Any kind of thing that you people are talking to a particular person is called a communication. So how many kind of communications we do have? So in general, we do have a 3 particular communications for every human person actually. So let us see what are the communications that goes on actually. So the first one we people are going to take it as an the first one known as a speaking, which is known as an speaking language, and second one we people are going to call it as an writing language, and the third one we people are going to start working with sign language. Yeah, sign language. So do you people speak every day?
Yes.
So everyone used to speak from the morning to evening, morning to night until they sleep. In the sleep also they used to talk by keeping a headphones inside the blanket, or they used to text. They used to talk, speaking. They used to texting. They used to write some kind of message. All this particular thing, every human used to do all this, right? At the same time, a particular person can speak. That is with sound. Yes or no? Second one, we call it as an writing. What does it mean by writing actually? In previous days, if you want to communicate to the other person, we need to write some kind of a letters, and it has to travel from one particular place to another place. But nowadays, the people are using some kind of their own language. For CU, they used to make it as a C and U. They have a shortcut, night, NT. So they have that language. I don't know. I know the human languages and programming languages, but I don't know the particular charting languages. So these are all the charting languages. Every particular person used to speak with the sound, and second one is by writing, like letters that was expired now. They used to nowadays the people who have to communicate with through mails, through messages, through text messages, or through SMS, or writing some kind of WhatsApp, Insta, Facebook. I think Facebook is also not there now. Mostly Insta or else Snapchat. Nowadays, I think so. Most of the people. And next one is sign language. Sign language is nothing but if there is a deaf person, how do you people communicate? Acha, so if I'm saying that, what does it mean? Hi, What I'm saying, what I'm saying like this, what does it mean? It's traveling or flying. What if I'm saying like this? Eating. That means I don't use any kind of a sound, but I'm going to make my particular functionality, right? For example, if I'm saying like this, what does it mean? That means there is a sign for every particular meaning actually. Yes or no? The same kind of a thing, a particular computer can also communicate with the three kind of communications. As you people can see, you have a Google Assistant in your mobile. If you say that hi Siri or hi Google Assistant, automatically it is going to provide some kind of a communication with the sound. That is the first one people are going to call it as a speaking language. That means you people are talking to your particular operating system. And second one, we do have an next one is writing. That means you people are texting something to your particular friends using some third-party messengers or third-party applications. I hope so. At the same time, we do have a third one known as a sign language. Sign language also the computer is going to do that. I think in Hollywood movies and as well as nowadays, you people have a QLED TV. You do have some kind of camera on your TV. Automatically, if I want to increase my volume, I used to increase. If I want to change my particular channel, I have to change my particular gesture motion actually. I used to do, and I will show you that particular things in the next session. Like in the next 30 minutes, I will be showing you how the particular gesture motion will be done, like moving the channels and as well as increasing the motions and as well as decreasing the volume. We will have a look of that particular application, sir. So I hope you people are clear here. The first one is how a human being is going to communicate with speaking. Next one is writing. Next one is signing. Similarly, a particular operating systems can also do the same thing. That means as a programmers, you need to know the three things. First, if you want to write a language, in which particular language you are going to communicate, that we have to know. So we do have a communication. So three communications we are going to do as of today. So mostly in this workshop, we'll be using a writing language, not a speaking language. Speaking language we'll be having in the next another workshops actually. So I think it is clear. I hope so. Communication. Language is nothing but a communication. Is it clear? Is there any other doubts? Okay, yeah. Now let us see how these languages are going to be divided, how these particular languages are going to be divided, and how we people are going to use this particular thing. Let us see. So let us see. Here we do have a different kind of communications can be. I do want to have a question for you people. How do you communicate? I mean, how do you speak? In which language do you speak? No, human languages. Mother tongue. Achha, so what is your mother tongue? Telugu. Some people do have Hindi. Some people do have Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Punjabi, Gujarati, Oriya, Bhojpuri, or whatever you do have a different kind of languages. You do Urdu. Like anyone know Chinese, Japanese? It's very difficult languages. So most of the people don't know that particular. As I too don't know, but I do watch the Korean movies, right? So we don't know, but we do watch. So let us see now how we people are going to use that particular languages. So this communication can be divided according to me. I'm going to divide this particular thing into two particular halves actually. The first one, which I'm going to call it as human languages. And to understand, we do have another one known as computer languages. So here I'm going to differentiate the things. The first one, we people are going to take it as a human language. Human languages. So can you people please guide me what are the human languages? Java. Human languages are Java. So if I want to speak with you, should I tell that system.out.println Mr. Ramna? So you want me to speak in Java, right? That's cool. So next one we do have here known as a computer language. Yeah. So every particular human people do have to communicate with their particular another human. They do have their different languages. The first language which we are going to call it as Telugu as our mother tongue. Telugu language. Can I call it as a language? Language. And second one is English language. And third one we are going to call it as Hindi language. And the fourth one, we do have a Tamil. And Kannada, if you have anyone as Kannada.
Malayalam.
Sorry, I don't know that. Yeah, we do have a lot of languages like Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Punjabi. Like you do have a lot. So etc. So as we know, these languages which are human languages, and a human can understand only these languages. Yes or no? And if I'm telling you that, can you people understand my language? What I'm speaking? Why? Why? Because you know that language. If whatever I'm speaking, that it means you know that particular language, that means you know you are understanding what I'm speaking. And if you don't know the programming language and you are writing your particular program and your particular computer can't understand, it means your computer required something to understand. So let us see. I will explain you that within a 5 minutes. So let us see the computer languages. So as computer languages, the first one, Java language. I hope most of the people know the C language. Okay. No, it's a C. Everyone knows the C. C language, and second one we call it as now CPP, or you can call it as C++ also. And third one we people are going to call it as now Python. And fourth one we are going to call it as now Java. And the fifth one we do have known as an PHP, which I like the most. And the sixth one we do have another languages. We do have another language, shift board. Shift code, and next one we do have a R language. You do have a Perl, Ruby language. You do have a lot of languages actually. So I'm telling it as na etc. So you do have a lot of languages. So all these particular languages, what you people are seeing is in a computer language, a computer can understand. If you're telling to a computer saying hi, does it mean it is going to understand the hi? No. So what should you say then? What do you have to say? Yes, by using any one particular language, you need to talk to a particular computer. Most of the people used to tell it as a computer, and you people are not talking to your computer, you people are talking to your operating system. Do remember this particular thing. No other particular person are going to talk to your computer or a system. System is nothing but operating system. Do remember. So computer language is nothing but operating system. We people are going to talk it as an operating system. And so if someone asks me what is meant by an operating system, it's like Windows, Unix, Linux, Mac. You do have a Patchwall, you do have an Android, you do have a BlackBerry, you do have a Windows. Like you do have a lot actually. Windows, you do have a Unix, Linux, and you do have a etc. You do have a lot of operating systems. So everything that you people are going to use in our particular session is not the human languages. We people are going to use it as something we call it as Python programming language to talk to a particular operating system known as Windows, and by using a writing language. As of today, we people are going to communicate Python using some kind of talking to the operating system on Windows using a writing language actually. So let us see, how do we write some kind of how do we write some kind of a language? We have a look over here. As I recently told you people, what exactly, whatever I'm speaking over here, whatever I'm speaking, can you people understand that? Yes, because you know what I'm speaking, because you know the English. For example, if I'm talking in Telugu, do you people understand the Telugu? Yes, because you know that particular thing. And most of the people want to write the program, and you particular people, and whatever you people are from the childhood, you people are learning some languages, right? Telugu, Hindi, English. How many years that it has been taken to learn the language? To learn the Telugu or to learn the English, to learn the Hindi, how many years it took for you? Approximately 2 years, 3 years from the childhood. Until now also we cannot speak some kind of words. Yes or no? The same thing, if you want to train your particular computer, as you know that a computer can learn the particular programming language within the 5 minutes. By just going to your website, download the software, and just by clicking the installation, your computer will learn within the 5 minutes. Computer knowledge, complete language, it is going to learn. And can you people learn that language within the 5 minutes? We are not a human, we are not a computer or a robot, right? To keep a pen drive in our mind or to keep our particular plugin just getting download in our particular minds, right? So it takes some kind of a time to understand the language within a 40 or 45 days. We can understand. I'm telling, we can understand. We cannot do. We can understand the programming language, how it works. Most of the people tell that within a within a 2 months, you people can become a pro. That's a false statement. You will become a pro once if you've done within a project or an application or some kind of real-time work. If you're working on that, only you people can learn some kind of work. Just you people will understand and learning some kind of language within a 30 days. Okay, 30 to 40 days, you people can learn Python programming language. And let us see, guys, how this particular operating system can understand the language. We'll have in the next session, like we will be having this particular communication, how we people are going to communicate. We'll have a look. So as you people can see, over here, we do have a different as you people can see over here, we will have a programming language. What does it mean by a programming now? As we learned, language is nothing but communication, and communication do have a 3 types. The first one is speaking, writing, and as well as a signing. And next one, we are going to learn what is meant by programming. So what is meant by program? You are all software engineers and programmers, and you don't know what is meant by programming. What is meant by programming? For example, if I'm asking you people, what is a program for tomorrow? You do have a certain schedule, right? At what time you need to wake up, at what time you need to have your breakfast, at what time you have to travel, at what time you have to go for office, and what time you have to do your lunch, at what time you have to come back to your home, and what time you have to do your works. All these particular things we are going to call it as a program. That means a program is nothing but here. Let me take a small explanation for you people. What is meant by a program? So let me show you. What is meant by a programming? Programming is nothing but a set of, I'm calling as a set of instructions and statements. If anyone asks you some question, people can tell it as a programming is nothing but an instruction and as well as statements to perform a task. To perform a particular task. So this is what we are going to call it as a program. It's very simple. Let us assume what is meant by instructions. What is meant by instructions, and let us assume what is meant by statements. Statements. So let us learn this particular 2 things. Raj, as you say that a sector, I've written something called it as a capital letters known as a sector. What does it mean by a set? Collection or group. That means in my case, I call the particular thing is more than one. A set is nothing but more than one. Here I'm going to perform something we call it as an instruction actually. So let us see. Instruction is nothing but question. You can call it as a questions or you can call it as a query. As per technical terminology, we people have to call it as an input. In the programming side, we call this particular thing as an input. And next one, what is meant by a statement? It's nothing but an answer to get understood. Answers. And next one we can call it as a solution. And as per the technical terminology, we can call that particular thing as an output. We can call this particular thing as an output. So do remember this particular thing. So one thing, instructions is nothing but questioning and as well as queries that we provide some kind of inputs. And next one, we can call it as a statement, which we are going to call it as an answer, or you can call it as solutions, mana terminologies. Like whatever we are speaking, we can call that particular answers or solution. Okay, sometimes some spelling mistake. Solutions, okay. Next one is output actually. So this is what I'm going to call it as my particular thing known as an input and as well as an output. So input is nothing but I will give an example. For example, if you're going for your college later, what happens? There will be some kind of input from your HOD or else from your particular principal. Yes or no? That is what we are going to get it as an input. And then will be a statement from your side. I'll be not coming again late. That is nothing but an answer. For example, if you're going for an ATM machine, I think everyone do have ATM machine with you, right? I mean, ATM cards, not a machines. So you do go and insert some kind of a card. Automatically, operating system is going to ask you some kind of a question actually. What is the question that is going to ask for you? What is the first question? Please insert the card. So once if you are inserting a card, what is the next question it is going to ask? Select a language and you are going to select some kind of a language. What is the third option? What is the third option? Please select some kind of an option like savings account or else current account, savings account. And there will be a fourth question is nothing but providing some kind of an input value. You will be giving some kind of an amount. Savings option, withdraw or credit or transfer. Credit. That means if you can see there is a four kind of options that you have chosen. That is nothing but providing some kind of inputs. You're providing some inputs, and the answer is that you want to have a 5,000 rupees in your bank account, and you want to withdraw that particular 5,000, and you are going to enter 4,999. What is the statement you will get? You do have a 5,000 in your bank account, and you want to withdraw 4,999 rupees. Do you get that amount? No. Then it will say that invalid input. Invalid input. If you're entering 4,000 rupees, then you will get the amount. Yes. Then only it is going to accept some kind of an amount. So that is what people are going to call it as an input and as well as an output. And here set is nothing but here. Do remember, guys, whenever you're writing a program, every particular program and every particular human being will have a program. That means a particular person or a particular computer will have a particular choices, yes or no. So that is to choose any one particular option, and that is nothing but a set. Set is nothing but a more than one. So do remember this particular thing. Here, set is nothing but more than one. More than one. Set is nothing but more than one. More than one is nothing but providing more inputs and getting a lot of answers. That is what people used to call that particular thing. So I hope is it clear what is meant by programming, or do you have any other doubts? I hope you people understood this one, or you have any other questions on this? Clear. Okay. Now let us see. Let us see what is meant by Python. So let us see now what is meant by the Python and how people are going to use this particular Python. We'll have a small introduction over here. In a proper definition, we people will learn something as of now. The first thing we are going to learn what is meant by Python programming language. As per the technical terminology, I'm going to differentiate what is language, what is programming, and what is meant by a Python. Here, a language is nothing but a primary means of communication. That means every particular human being want to make a communicator with one particular person to another person to make or to complete their particular task. Yes or no? Morning లేచినప్పటి నుంచి సాయంత్రం పడుకునే వరకు ఏదో ఒక పర్టికులర్ పర్సన్ ఇంకొక పర్టికులర్ పర్సన్ తో మాట్లాడుతూనే ఉండాలి. అయితే నువ్వు బయటకు వెళ్ళినా లేదు అంటే ట్రావెల్ చేస్తున్నా లేదు అంటే ఎక్కడున్నా కానీ యూ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ traveling. All this particular thing is nothing but a means of communication, and communication are into the three types. One is speaking, writing, and as well as sign, or you can call it as gestures. That depends upon you what you require. And next one is what is programming? A programming is nothing but a set of instructions and as well as a statements which performs to perform a particular task. It's not about only the computer, it's all about the human persons also want to perform their particular task. And let us see what is meant by a Python. Python is nothing, it's not a snake, it is not a reptile, or it is not something we call it as uh, it's in a programming language, basically we call it as now. And let us see the history of the particular Python programming language. And Python programming language is one of the high level programming language. When you call it as a high level, we have to call it as an object oriented programming language. And why I love the Python is because it do supports three particular languages. One is low level language, second one is high level language, and third one is interpreter language. So let us see what the particular language is. And Java supports only the high level language. It does not support the low level language, and it does not support the interpreter language. And here, and C language. What does it mean by C language then? C language does not support any kind of an high level language and as well as an interpreter language. It is only supposed the low level languages, guys. And now let us see what are the history and as well as now who invented a particular Python. And just it's in a brief introduction I want to provide you people. It's not much more. Just Python is one of the general purpose high level language which we are going to call it as now object oriented programming language. And next one is Python is a popular programming language created by GUI and Rosen and released in 1991. And this is the 1991 is a wrong answer because it was released in 1989. Before the Java only the Python was released. After the Python release only the Java has came into the existence. But officially it was declared in the market is 1991 and Java was released in 1990. But the programming language which you people are seeing on the Python is released and using from the 1989. Do remember that particular thing. And here, as you people can see, most of the people used to think, Raj, what is Python? And we do have something called as an Anaconda. And we do have a Python also, programming language. So we do have a Python and we do have Anaconda. It looks something weird, but we do have programming languages like Python. So yeah, Python, and we do have a Python also. So it's similar to the Python. It's very straightforward language also, Python. It's combination of C language and as well as in a Python and different languages combination that the Python was built actually. So in some cases, we'll be using the Python, not now. And let's see, how does this particular name known as Python was introduced? Because the person who is the particular person of the innovator known as Gudio Van Rossum was watching every day. He used to watch some kind of comedy circus show actually. There is a character known as a Python. If you can see over here in my particular slide, the particular person has an BBC Martin Python's Flying Circus. There is a character known as a Python. And previously, the particular Python programming language used to be a name known as an ABC language. ABC language was removed and they have been replaced with the name known as an Python programming language. Previously it used to be an ABC language. Now, let us see what are the programming languages and what are the things that we can use in our particular real time. So here, you people can build some kind of an applications like machine learning. Do you people had any time did you people saw this machine learning projects? Do you know how does it work actually? Any idea to anyone? Do you people have any idea on machine learning project? Did you see that? No way. Okay. So, sorry. Yeah. So let us see how we people are going to. We'll have a small programming actually. A small application. We'll have a look actually. So let me show you how a particular programming can be done. Okay. So before working on that, yeah. So as my team people have been built, we people are working on this particular project. So I want to show you people how a machine learning project is very easy to do and how does it use it actually. So let me run. Yeah, if you people can see over here, there is a road tracking. So most of the cases, if you people can see over here, the vehicles are moving and automatically I'm calculating the speed of the vehicle down over here actually. And most of the cases when you drive on the roads, you will get a challan or tickets on the overspeed or else a signal jump or wrong routes. That particular camera is going to detect the particular vehicles of your particular speed. The finding an object, that is nothing but machine learning. That means the particular machine is going to identify what kind of an object and the speed of an object actually. And at the same time, if I want to raise a ticket, I need to read the particular car number. That is what we are going to call it as an DL, deep learning. That means I need to track the number of the vehicle. I need to capture. I need to take that particular vehicle number. That is nothing but an deep learning. We call it as a deep learning. So whatever I'm going to get the vehicles, automatically the vehicle are coming and my particular speeds are recording over there. So this is what I have trained my particular system. And if you people can see this particular, and the vehicle is very slow, and the particular it's very coming very slow actually. So all this particular thing we are going to call this particular thing was designed within the 74 lines of code actually. If you can see over here, entire program was written within the 74 lines. And the same particular Python programming, if I'm using in Java, I have to write minimum of 400 to 500 lines of code I have to write. If I'm writing the program, same application, I wrote within a 74, approximately 60 with the spaces and each and everything. Approximately, it has been taken as a 60 lines of code using the Python by doing a machine learning actually. So let me show you another project also on this. How does machine other application, how the artificial intelligence works on actually. Yeah, so let me show you this particular code, which is known as an ML. We people have created artificial intelligence like within the skeleton actually. Yeah, this is a very virtual one. It's just loading out. Yeah. So using this particular thing virtually, we can track our particular hand, and as well as we can use some kind of an application like dragging and as well as dropping the object virtually without touching any kind of an object. So, yeah. So let me run. Let me run this example. Okay. I think it's now generating. I think so. So you may say. Yep. So, give me a second. Yeah. I think. Okay, fine. So let me show you some other application on the facial recognition actually. So to use this particular thing, the artificial intelligence is going to work like this. Yes. Yep. So now I want to run my particular application over here. It's actually taking some time to load actually. So just I'm running over here. Oh, yeah. So I'm just click on my web application. So I got my particular attendance, which we have created actually recently. So here we people are recognizing some kind of facial recognition. Once it gets loaded, it automatically it is going to take the attendance basically over here. So if I'm going to look at my particular camera, automatically it has to take the attendance. So if I'm looking at the face, automatically it is going to take the face capture. I think it's getting stuck in actually. Like I think camera was not working properly. Okay, fine. I will show you in the afternoon sessions once we are done over here. I'll show you in the afternoon session. Okay. Yeah. So let us start working with the programming actually. So in the afternoon session, I will show you what exactly we can do. So let us start working on the programming side as of now. So let us see how we people will kickstart the program and as well as how to create a project and how we are going to implement in the real time. We'll have a look on the programming side. So let us create a project on that at the first. Yeah. So to create a particular project, first of all, we have to should have some kind of requirements, software requirements. Basically, the software requirements what you require is these are all the software requirements you do require in your laptop to make any application or to create any kind of full stack. The first one we require Python software, which is known as a 3.11 or 3.10 that you require, and next one is PyCharm we do require, or that's up to you people. Whatever you editor you do require that you can use. The first one is Python and Django IDE. And at the same time, XAMPP we require. Either you can use XAMPP, WAMP, LAMP, or XAMPP. That's up to you people. You can use any one to build your RDBMS, which is known as a database relational management system that we people are going to use. So these are all the software requirements that you have to use actually. So as of now, I do have my particular PyCharm. If you require, you can download from your particular internet, which is completely free resources. You don't need to pay any single rupee also. Okay. So now let me start over here. Python workshop, just writing my particular project name that is in a Python workshop. Click on that. And I'm creating my virtual environment, which is I'm configuring my operating system and as well as the language was configured. The configuration process is going on and it was done over here. Now I need to create my particular programs actually. I need to create my particular programs from the beginning. So how many people do know scratching of the programming from the starting? Or you people, how many people do you know Python from the scratch? No one. Okay. The one. Okay. So let me start working with some new application, new file. Let me create a new particular file known as Hello World start application. And next one I will go with directly into the GUI applications. So I'm going to start with the Hello World. Just I'm clicking on Hello World over here. And just let me start working on this to write my particular piece of code actually. So give me a sec. So let me write over here. Can people see last? Can you people see the things? Yep. So here I want to write some kind of a piece of code over here. Before starting my particular program, let me explain you how the human languages and at the same time how the computer languages would differ. Let us see. Okay. Let us see how our particular computer program, without understanding the particular thing, we cannot do that. So let us see that how we people can use. So let me take a new file. So let me differentiate this particular part, particular piece over here. To understand the human languages and as well as a different kind of programming language, let me draw a structure. And let me show you a language known as Telugu. And at the same time, you people know this particular language known as Hindi. And at the same time, you people know English language. Now, next one, like we do have the second one is known as a C language. And next one, we do have another one known as a CPP and C++, we can call it as. And we do know Java. and one of the favorite programming languages for everyone who don't like to do the programming in Java and Python language. Yeah. So before learning these particular human languages, let us see how the different kind of scripts and as well as syntaxes will be used and different kind of languages how it will be used over here. In Telugu, if I want to write some kind of keywords or else some kind of words, I used to write something like is this right? And in Hindi, if I want to write the same kind of pronunciation or else I want to call this particular thing as an is it right? Okay. And English, if you people can write it as we do have something called it as A, B, C, D, E. And at the same time in Tamil, I don't know. So I'm just keeping of that particular thing as Tamil. And if I want to write something called as Raja, if I want to write my particular name Raja, every language do they have their own script and as well as a different style? Yes or no? If I want to call in Telugu or if I want to write some Raja, so I want to write something called like this. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I think like this. And if you want to write in Hindi, I have to write like Raja. Like this. Like this. Okay, fine. So I don't know. Okay, fine. So this is where I have written in Hindi language. And if I want to write in English or something like that, then I have to write it as Raja. And Tamil, no. It's like Chinese. So now next one, we do have a C language actually. So if there is only one particular word known as Raja, I have to pronounce, but every different languages have a different style of calling and different style of writing actually. At the same time, if I want to write the same kind of Raja in different kind of computer languages, they do have some kind of syntaxing process actually. And in human languages, we call it as a lipi. So I hope you people know the lipi, right? We have to pronounce in the same manner. You need to write the same kind of structure. At the same time, a computer do have some kind of scripting languages. It follows the same actually. That means you have to follow the syntax. So now let us see in C language, if I want to write the main, and over here, I want to write it as a printf, and I need to write within a double quotes. I have to write it as a Raja and just colon close, and need to write it as a get ch to stop a particular output. At the same time, in the C language, C++, if I want to write the same kind of a code, void main, and don't say that ash include ash conio.h ash. We don't require all those stuff actually, and you people will write in the exam also. And if you want to do that, see out. I think good question anukunta paatakalam rojulo. So next get ch. I'm going to get it as get ch. And next one, we do have a Java language. If I want to write Java is a high level programming language, everything has to start in the classes, not in the procedure oriented. It does not support. So now we have to start everything in the object oriented. So class name, and just taking it as a name over here in Java. And over here, if I want to start the main function, what is that? Public static void main. And over here, I need to open the braces over here. And over here, if I want to write my statement, I need to write system dot. So print ln. Ln is not necessary. So here I want to write it as Raja and just make it as close this particular braces over here. That means this is where we have written a program. But in Java, in Python, if I want to write just I need to write it as print. That's it, Raja. And just, or you can make it as single quotes also, like print, and make it as a single quotes known as Raja. And just to make it as close this particular thing. This is how the particular process is going on in different languages. And if you people can see how many lines in C language? 5 lines. And in C++, 5 lines. And in Java, how many lines? 7 lines. And in Python, 1 line. Now tell me which language is good? Python. And always we have to do the Python language. So if you write hundreds and thousands of lines in other programming language, you will be writing in Python within a 2 set of lines. That's it. For example, I will give an example. You know the CMR college, right? They came for some research project known as an I think in image processing. I hope so, mostly. When they came for image processing, they have created some project on Java. They are doing all this manipulation. They are doing some different kind of technology they were using. And we have written only 21 lines to their PG project for the research to the image processing. Variable is nothing but assigning some kind of a value or storing some kind of a value actually. So let us store some kind of a value. Let us see. We are going to store some kind of a value 30 in some kind of a first number actually. And at the same time 50 was stored with a second number. Now let me call some kind of an addition of 2 numbers to create that particular thing. I have to create addition equals to, I want to make it as now first number plus second number. And if you people can see over here, you can see a small drop down actually. What is that particular drop down? We can call that particular thing as an IntelliSense. It is not in a suggestion box. It's not a suggestion box. We have to call it as a IntelliSense. IntelliSense is nothing but predicting something actually. It is we have to predict what is I'm going to write the next actually. So I'm not writing anything else. By clicking on enter, it is just done. Now I have to write it as an print the statement. That is an addition I have to take and just make it as a calculation. How much answer? And what is that 80 actually? I can't understand what is exactly the 80 is. Addition, that means we need to make some kind of statement over here. So you need to make a statement over here as like this. That is the addition of two numbers is. That means I can understand this particular 80. Acha, addition of 2 numbers is 80. Then what is the addition of first number and second number? I cannot identify that. So to make the clarity, I have to make that particular thing also print. So print, there is first number and as well as print second number. Now just make it as an execution part where I'm going to get it as 30 and as well as 50. So what is 30 is the first number or second number? 30 is the 50 is the, how can you say that? Because you people are writing the code. So you people can see the code and you can tell. And user cannot see the code, right? And we should not show that particular code. So always you need to provide some kind of a statement. So here you need to provide some statement over here. That is my first number is, and over here I want to provide something over here. That is my second number is, and just to make it as an execution part and just check it out. My first number is 30 and my second number is 50. Ivanni chinnapillal chese programs. Dini real time lo ela chestam anedi very important. Working on the GUI application. Now we people are going to start working within a small GUI application. How to create this particular addition of 2 numbers and as well as multiple operators. Let us see. So let me create a new particular file. Saying this particular addition, I'm going to work on the GUI application now. So let us create in this particular program, that is GUI underscore addition. So now we need to create a graphical interface. And do you people like this particular code? I mean, looking at that black color screen, and is it looking good? No, right? So let me create the same addition of 2 numbers in the GUI application. So what is by GUI? Graphical user interface. It's nothing but where you are going to interact with the graphics. Suppose, for example, if you're going for some kind of ATM machines or somewhere else, you people do find some kind of graphics on the screens actually, right? So to call it as graphics. To interact with that particular graphics, we have to connect with that particular touching on the screen, touching on the button, touching on the text box, and cancelling on the text, all these particular thing we call it as a graphics. So let us to make that particular graphics, we do have a TK Inter. TK Inter, you do have a Cherry Pie, you do have a Qt Pie, you do have a Turtle, you do have a TK Inter. 21 libraries, graphical user interfaces you do have in the Python, and we people are using some one particular thing we call it as an TK Inter. So I'm going to take my particular library, and one of the sweetest thing in Python is getting the libraries from the third parties. That means mottam code meere rayalsina avasaram ledhu. Some other person will be writing the code, and you people will be using that particular code in the form of modules. So here I'm going to take it as here I want to take it as from. I'm taking as an from TK Inter. I want to take from TK Inter. I want to take it as an import. TK Inter, import all kind of modules. The star indicates all modules, and it was disabled. Now I want to make, I want to create some kind of a window. Whenever you people are creating some kind of an application, you people should follow the blueprint actually. So how does the blueprint will act? Let us see. So before going to our application, we people has to build some blueprint. So this is a blueprint, and we people are designing our application over here like this, a particular window, and you need to take that particular window over here like this with a header, minimize and maximize. And here we people are going to take some kind of a title over here, that is GUI edition. And over here, I want to make something, the text over here, actually, which we are going to call label. Sorry, enter the first number. And next one is, I'm going to take it as now, enter the second number. I want to take like this. Now I want to create text boxes. We are going to take something on the text boxes actually. Yeah. Now to make that particular values, I should have something we call it as a result. To display that particular result, I have to create some label result. And over here, I do have that particular result to display some value. In the value, what is the first value, first number value? 30. And what is the second number value? 50. Yes. Now, what is the result that I have to get? 80. Yes. And to make this particular 80, I do require some kind of a button actually. So to get that particular button, either you can make anywhere else. That's up to you people. So here I'm going to create something, I call it as a submit button. Add, okay. Or addition, that's up to you people. Like whatever you require, you can make your own title. Now, this is what I'm going to call it as a blueprint. Before starting any project, you have to make your particular structure on the paper, and you need to start your particular project. Now, let us divide our work. So what is the first thing we have to do is we have to create a window. So that is the first thing we need to create is a window. So here I'm going to create a first one is a window. Creating window. And next one is creating. The second one is creating title and as well as a window size. Yeah, creating window and as well as a title size. And next one is creating the labels. So here I'm going to create some labels over here. So result is also one of the label. So here I'm going to create that particular label. Labels are nothing but information. Third one is the labels. Labels. And next one is creating the text boxes. We call this particular thing as a text box, which is known as a fourth one. Text boxes. And over here the button which we have to create, that is the fifth one. Fifth one is button. Okay. And the last and foremost thing, the most important thing which we have to create is a result. So this is the one of the most important one. That is an addition. So this is the sixth one. Yeah, this is the sixth one. That is nothing but result. So this is the thing that we have to create as of now. This is the first task that we have to create. Now let us start working on the programming side. So the first one is what is the first one we do have in our program actually? Creating a window. To create a window in Java, we do require a minimum of 21 lines actually. In Python, we do require only one single line, that is TK. Just the class I created, and I have to execute my particular program. Just let me execute my particular program. Did I get my output? Yes, I got my output, and it's got like this. It's expired now because the output cannot stop. So I want to stop my output like this by writing a main loop. And C language we do have a getch, and C++ we do have a getch. Similarly, we do have a main loop in Python similar to the getch actually. And just making run this particular program. Oh, it says something like creating a earlier window. Okay, so here we need to create a TK, a window, and just make this run. Yes, I got my particular window over here. The window is, this is a window which I created. So his window is ready. Type in the window. Yes, I am done with my particular task known as an first task. I created my particular window. In this window, I need to add all particular labels, text boxes, buttons, or whatever you do require, you can create. So this is the first one which I am going to create a window. So here, the first one is nothing but creating a window. The first one is creating a window. And over here, I'm going to provide this particular window a name known as root. Or you can keep your girlfriend name or your boyfriend name or your particular pet name, whatever you require, you can keep as a root, a window name. And now, once it's created, what is the second task we do have in my particular blueprint? Sorry? Title and as well as the window. So I need to create some window over here. That is nothing but creating. The second one is creating title and window size. So let me write that particular program. So to create a size, I have to take window root dot. I need to take up methods. So I do have a title over here. In this particular title, I want to add something known as an GUI addition. And next one is I want to take the size of my particular window actually. So I want to take root dot. I want to take it as a size. If you have a size, you don't take it as a size. You have to take it as a geometry actually. So take it as a geometry and make the size known as a 500 by 300. Whatever you require, you can take a 500 by 300. And next one is third one. We are going to create a third. What is the third one we do have? Creating the labels. So before creating a labels, let us check it out how our particular output looks like. So this is my particular window size, and I have created my particular title, and I fixed my particular size also. And next one, I want to create the third one is creating labels. What does it mean by labels actually? What does it mean by labels? When you go for a shop, you will find a tags, right? On the shirts or pants or belts. When you're purchasing, that is nothing but providing the information. Which company was created, providing some kind of information. That is what we are going to create labels. So here I'm going to take it as a label. I want to take some kind of a label. Label, I want to present, that is not text. Something I'm going to write this label. Where exactly this label has to go in which particular window. That is a root window, comma. I want to provide the text over here is enter the first number, and over here, let us see guys, this particular label is displaying in our particular, do I get my particular label over here actually? Yes, I got it. but I cannot see the position exactly where exactly it is. So I do have to place in a position actually. To place a position, we do have one of the subject known as one of the concept known as an grid. So grid is nothing but we need to divide our particular window into the into different kind of parts like this. I have to divide my particular window like this. How many parts I do have, and I need to place exactly in which particular position I have to place. I need to justify that particular things. So here I need to divide my particular window like this, and over here I need to place that is a column 1, column 0, and here we do have a column number 1, and next one is I'm going to take it as column number 2, and over here I want to take it as column number row number 1, 1 or 0, and here we do have a row number 2, and at the same time we do have a row number 3. Sorry, row number 1. Sorry. Row number 1, row number 2. Yeah. So now let's see, guys. ఈ లేబుల్ అనేది ఏ పర్టికులర్ పొజిషన్ లో ఉంది ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్ గా row number 0 and as well as the column number 0, and where exactly this particular second number was located, row number 1 and as well as the column number 0. Yes, and where this result was created, row number 2, column number 0. Then what about this particular thing? As you say that column number 0, then what about this particular thing? It has to move in this particular column now. So it has to be a 0. One, it should be a 0 actually. Column number 0. Now tell me what is exactly this particular position over here, this particular thing actually text box. R0 and as well as a C0. C1. Perfect. And what about this particular text box number 2 actually? R1, C1. And what about the result? R2 and as well as C1. And button R2 and as well as a C2. Perfect there. R2 and C2. Now we have to provide this particular position in the form of a grid actually. Grid is nothing but point where you need to use a grid function actually. So use a grid function over here. In this grid, I want to place this particular thing as a row. What is the row? Row 0, comma, column 0. And just to make it as an execution over here and just check it out. Do you get your particular label over here? Yes. What is the next one that we have to place? I have to take the label, and over here I want to take it as a root, comma, I want to take it as a text equals to, I want to provide a enter the second number, and over here I want to provide a dot grid and row number, sorry, row, are you sure? If you have doubt, row number 1 and column number 0. So you have to take row number 0 and as well as column number row 1 and as well as column 0. Now just to make it as an execution part and just check it out your result. How does it look like? Is it clear? Yeah. Now we need to get we need to clear some other thing. There is nothing but text boxes actually. So what exactly the text boxes we have to create is R0 and as well as C0, C1. Yeah. At the same time, we do have a label number 3 result actually. So we have to place that particular thing also. So let us create that particular label also. Label root is nothing but window name. And over here, I want to take it as text equals to. I want to provide something, we call it as result. Here, in which particular grid, where I need to provide a position. What is the row? Row 2 and column number 0. And just to make it as an execution and just make it as a have a look of that particular thing. Yes. So we got it as a result over here actually. So let us check it out. Then what is the next blueprint? In the blueprint, what is the next one we have to create? Text boxes. So let us create the text boxes. The fourth one is creating the text boxes. So to create a text boxes, we do have a something we could have a predefined method which we call it as now entry. So for that, I'm going to take it as now first text box number one. Text box one is my particular variable which is equals to I want to provide entry. Just provide it as an entry. And this text box in which particular window it has to go? It has to go to the root window. And next one is text box number two equals to I need to provide it as an entry which is going to take it as a root. And just let me execute and check it out whether I'm getting my particular output or not. Do I get my output? Why? Position. We need to provide a position, sir. So what is the positions of this particular text boxes? R0, C1, and the two second text boxes R1 and as well as a C1. So let us provide that particular thing over here. Dot grid, where I need to provide the position row. What is the row? Row 0, comma, column 1. And what about the dot grid? What is the next one is row 1, column 1. And just to make it as an execution part, and just check it out over here. Like you do have some text boxes, whatever you are writing some information. And I do require writing some text boxes over here, but I don't have any kind of a button over here. So I need to create something button. So let us create a blueprint button. So that means my fourth task was completed. Now I need to create my particular button. I need to create a button. The fifth one is creating a buttons. So let me create a button. To create a button, I do have a one particular method known as a button, where I have to create in which particular window, root window, comma. I have to check it out. My button is displaying in my particular frame or not. So is it going to display? No, I need to provide a position dot grid. And where I need to provide this particular position is row number. What is a row? Row 2 and as well as a column 2. And just to make it as an execution over here, just run this. And let us see. Do I get my button? I got my particular button, but I didn't give any kind of a name. So I have to provide some name over here, or name for that actually. So to provide that name, separated with comma, I need to provide it as a text, where I need to provide that is an addition. And just make it as an execution and just check it out. Every time you need to just check it out the particular things. Addition. Did I get my particular button? Yes. Just close this particular thing now. Now, my particular things was completed. Now my particular task was to display my particular result. So how does it look like? Let's have a look. The sixth one is creating result. Creating a result. Now using this particular result, I have to make sure the things work like this. That is no, I have to create some label over here. In the label format, I need to provide some kind of information actually. That is root, comma. I need to provide some text over here. Text is nothing but 500 or 5000. Just let me have a look of that particular thing. How does it look like in the output actually? Just we have to have a look over there. So I need to use it as a grid. In this particular grid, I need to take value known as rows. What is a row and column actually? No, it's in a R2 and as well as a C1. R2 and as well as it is going to take it as a C1. And just to make it as an execution part. Make it as an execution part. I'm getting result over here. Just a statical way to check the static where exactly my result is displayed. Now I got my particular result over here, and just remove this. Remove the text. I don't require any text over here. Just make it as empty. Yeah. Now when I enter some kind of a value when an execution process has been done, I need to get the addition. That is a 30 and as well as a 50. Then when I click on this particular addition, I need to get some kind of a value actually. So that is what I do require. Okay. So to do that particular thing, there is a last step. We call it as a functions. So what is meant by a function? Any idea on function? So do you people go for functions, parties? When you will go, if someone is calling you, then you will go, or without calling also, you people are going to go for parties. Whenever someone calls you for the function, then you people will go for the parties, like, right? The same thing here also, the function is nothing but where is a set of block of code, or you can call it as a code template, which is represented with a particular name. For every function, we do have a certain names. As you are talking about bachelor parties, birthday parties, you call it as a home ceremony. Every particular function will have some name. At the same time, our particular block of code will also have some name, which we are going to call it as a function. You have to know one major difference. What is meant by the difference between a function and as well as a method? So what is a function and what is a method? So any idea on that? What is a function and what is a method? A function is nothing but in the procedure-oriented programming, if you're writing, we call it as a function. A method is nothing but if you're writing in the object-oriented programming, we call it as a method. A function and method are same. There is no difference between the function and method. Function is nothing but if you are using in the procedure-oriented programming, we call it as a function. And if you are using the same function in the classes, we are going to call that particular thing as a methods. In Java, we do have only the methods. We don't have any functions. In Python, you will be having a number of methods, functions, classes. You have a lot of things in the Python actually. So let us see now. Let us see. Now let us create the function. The function has to create every time at the top of your particular code. So let us create a particular code over here. So here I'm going to create the seventh last point, creating a function. Creating a particular function. To create a function, we need to represent with a DEF. DEF is nothing but defining. So we are defining some kind of a function over here, that is an add number, and just to create your particular close a function. And now I need to write two particular things over here. One is known as an addition equals to. In previous example, if you people can see, I have taken a variable known as addition, and in this I have taken a first number and as well as a second number. But in our particular program, I need to call this particular two values actually, where you do have a 30 and as well as you do have a 50. These two particular numbers has to be taken from a particular text box. Text box లోపల నుంచి మనం two particular values ని get చేసుకోవాలి, or you need to extract that particular two particular values. To do that particular things, I need to use in my particular program, I need to use text box number 1. I do have a text box number 1. Assume this particular text box I'm entering as 30. Assume I'm entering a text box known as 50. Now I want to add this particular values over here as a text box number 1 dot. I have to use it as a get. I have to use it as a get dot. Text box number 1 dot. I have to use it as a get method. Plus, I need to use it as a text box number 2 dot. I need to use it as a get method actually. Now, using this particular two get method, I need to declare what kind of data types of those are. You know what is meant by data types? Sorry?
Integer.
Is like it's not integer. It is data type is nothing but what kind of information that you are providing. The information is in the form of numbers or a strings, or it's you're providing in the form of decimal numbers. So here I need to declare the particular number. Number in the sense number is divided into two particular things. One is numerical number, second one is decimal number. That is in the English language. If you call it as in a computer language, you call it as an integers and as well as a float. And there is a third number in the computers, we call it as a complex numbers, which is used in the scientific calculations actually, which was not used in the software industry as of now. Now we are going to take that is an int, that is an int. I'm going to take it as an int. That means I'm going to provide only the integer numbers, int, and just I'm providing over here and closing this particular thing. And whatever you're going to get over here at the background of your particular computer, it is going to take it as addition equals to, I want to take it as now 30 plus, I'm going to take it as now 50. So what would be the answer? 80. So answer would be like 80 actually. You remember this particular thing. Now I want to create something. Like this. Over here, my particular value was done and everything was set up. If I'm going to run my particular project, is it going to execute my result actually? If I want to create an addition, now I want to make this particular thing execute actually. So I want to get over here. I need to enter the 30 and as well as I need to enter some kind of a value 50 and just to make it as an addition. Is it going to work actually? Why? Because I need to call the function. As I told you, function కి ఎవరైనా పిలుస్తూనే వెళ్తారు కానీ పిలవకుండా వెళ్ళరని చెప్పేసి ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ కూడా ఈ బటన్ నేను క్లిక్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది రావాలి అంటే నేను ఆ ఫంక్షన్ ని పిలవాలి. I need to call that particular function. So if I want to call that particular function, you need to take this particular add number and just go back over here and just take it as in a button, provide it as a command as a add number. Provide it as a add number. Whenever you're providing this particular add number, automatically the particular value is going to be written some kind of a gift for in the form of a text variable. ఎక్కడ ఇస్తున్న text variable అంటే ఈ command button అనేది ఒక value ని send చేస్తుంది. Whenever you go for birthday parties, or you will take gifts, right? No. So here the particular command is going to give some kind of a gift that is nothing but result actually. That is in the form of a text variable. And if you call it as a text variable is nothing but an accepting only the string values, not the integer values. But we got some kind of an answer in the form of an integer known as an 80. Yes or no? And we need to convert that particular into the string actually. To make the conversion process, you need to take it as my underscore text equals to, that is a string variable. I want to declare this particular thing as a string variable. And just I want to make this particular thing as a my text dot set, where I want to call this particular thing as an add addition. Just now I need to call this particular addition or my text. I need to take this particular thing, my text, and just to represent over here and make a call of this particular thing. Just make a calculation, that is 10 and 20. And just make it as a take. Oh, it says that it's getting as answer is not getting. It says that non-typed object. Okay, so let us check it out. Line number 5. Yep. So it says that addition equals to int. That is text box number 1 dot get 3 and 3 dot grade. Yeah, so here it says that, guys, in the previous version, it used to accept the grid values in the text boxes. In the now current versions, like in the 3.6, I think it was changed it as a values over here. So I should not provide the grid values at the side of the text box. So I need to provide it as a text box number 1 over here. And over here, I need to provide this grid value. Dot grid has to be removed over here. That is a text box number 2. That is a dot. So I need to provide independently. As per the versions, the particular methods and as well as an implementation part will be changing. So 2, 10, and as well as 20, and click on that. I've got 30. And if I want to change the value known as 200 and as well as an 100, it is going to change the value known as an 300 actually. So this is how the particular real-time example was created. And if I want to create a subtraction, then how should I perform that? Exactly, I have to change the same thing as to the subtraction actually. So this is how the particular GUI application was. We can create a. This is a very small application, but when you create something, we call it as a student record or employee record, or you're working on any kind of order placing, or if you want to work on a billing system, you people can create any number of things also, guys, like using the GUI application. I hope you.
Can you show the code one?
Yeah. Yes. So this is how we can create it as a GUI application. And where do we people use a GUI application actually? ఎక్కడైనా చూసారు మీ GUI application somewhere else? Whenever you go for supermarkets or if you go for some restaurants, when people are building some kind of do some billing, right? In the Reliance or the D-Marts, then you can see on the screens that you can see the desktop applications. Those are all known as desktop applications actually. So what is meant by web applications then? Do you people saw the web applications? Have any idea on web application? Do you people use Swiggy, Zomato? All those things we are going to call the particular things as web applications actually. So whatever you are using a Swiggy or Zomato, or you people are using any other Facebook, Instagram, or anything that you people are creating, right? All that particular thing we call it as web applications. And you know mobile applications, right? Mobile application is nothing but WhatsApp and some kind of third-party things that we people used to use, right? All that nothing but mobile applications. So is there any other do you have any doubts in this particular code part? And do you want to take this? Yeah, please. Yeah. So this was a code, guys. Now let us create some application student record in the console, and we'll create the same kind of student record into the GUI application. And today you people has to build your particular application at your home. I'll be giving a small task for you people. The task is nothing but employee record and as well as a student record, which we'll be creating in the console. And the same console application has to build in the GUI application. And you people has to create a database for independently, and we need to configure that particular coding part, designing, and as well as a scripter. Three things has to be merged at one particular place. So that we have to use now. So yeah, please, once if you're done, please take this piece of code. I think everyone done. Is that clear? Yeah. Now let us create. Guys, something we call it as a student record. I hope you people know the student record. How do we do have a student record? We also require. What are the requirements do we need for student record? Student name and as well as a student ID and phone number, address, department, and as well as an email ID. We do require that particular information. So let us go and start working on that. So let us create a new particular file. Every time when you create some kind of a new file, you need to create some kind of a Python file every time. So just create on that, create on student underscore record. And over here, student records. And today, this will be your assignment for you people in afternoon session. Once if you're done, you have to create a configuration. I will be telling you a small example how to configure the database and adding that particular CRUD operations like inserting, deleting, updating, searching. Like me result in me search cheskuntaru online lo results vachinappudu. So I will show you that particular roll number entering, and automatically we'll get the details of your particular information. Then you have to create your application. We cannot doubt on that. If you get your laptops, that's well and good. If you have any other queries or any information, then I'm here to help you out for you people. Okay. So let us create a small console application, and the same console application we need to use in the GUI application. And tomorrow we will be working on the web application. So we have to host that particular thing to the online, and we need to access that to the mobile or laptops. So let us see in the tomorrow session that particular thing. And now we will be creating a console application, creating a student information. For student information, what are the requirements we need? Student name. So I want to take it as one of the variable. That is a student name. Student name equals to. I'm going to use input functions over here. I'm going to use input functions. So I input. Enter student name student name, and next one is what is the next one? Student ID or roll number? Roll number, I am taking as a roll number equals to, and I'm going to take it as an input function actually. And over here, I need to take it as an enter. In the addition of two numbers in the console and as well as the GUI application. Edi baan pichindi, edi easy ga undi. GUI or console. Console ఏంటంటే small code 4 lines లో అయిపోయింది. GUI is a very bigger one, but every customer do require a GUI. It's not a console. Do remember. So we people are going to take it as a console, and as well as next we will be implementing the same application in the form of GUI application. So enter student roll number, and next one is I'm going to take it as a student underscore. What is the next one we do require? Department equals to, I need to create it as an input where I want to create that is enter student department. I want to take it as a student underscore any other information like phone number. Phone equals to, I want to provide input, enter the student phone number. And what is the next one? Student email ID.
Address.
I want to get email ID that is input where I want to provide it as an enter the student's email. And I need to provide something at address. Any doubts? Student underscore, I want to provide it as an address equals to input, enter the student address. So this is how I created my particular input functions. And if I want to provide over here, just I need to enter the student details over here. That is, it's asking me to enter some kind of information that is Rajashekar, and roll number that is 31, and department that is CSC. Student phone number that is 970-397-1577, and address raj@gmail, and the student address HYD. And just when I click on that, my particular details was written now. So how many variables I do have here? Can anyone tell? Total number of variables? Do we have 6? And how many data types I do have?
One data type.
Only one data type, that is a string actually. Because input function automatically takes only the data type known as a string. Now you need to provide some kind of data types over here, which is known as an int. So you need to provide it as an int over here, and student roll number that I need to provide as int. So first one is int. It's a string.
The first one string.
Yes, it's a string actually. And what is department? String.
Department string.
So we are going to take it as a string over actually. And next one is a phone number. No, it's a string. Why? Because the phone number is not going to be usable or else to do the calculation part. Only for integers or a float numbers will be taken for making the calculation purpose only. If you're not using any kind of calculation, then you people are using only that as a string format. So take it as a string. We are not going to calculate any kind of phone number anywhere else. And over here, I'm going to take it as a student email. What is a student email actually? String. And next one, we do have another one is address, student address. It is also string. So I just created my particular details, and now I want to create 5 subjects. So I want to create a 5 subject that is in Java, and next one is Python, And next one is SIA. No, web application, development, web development. And third one is we call it as an database. And what is the next one? Last one? Anything? PHP. Any other subjects?
C sharp.
Okay. C sharp. Okay, let's go with a C sharp actually. Yeah. Now we do have a guys. We do have a Java. We do have a Java. Now I want to create something in Java. I have to create it as an input type actually. So I need to choose it as an input. And here I need to, in input, I need to make it as an some statement that is enter student Java marks. Java marks. And next one is input. I need to want to take it as an enter student Python marks. And here I want to take it as an input, that is enter student web development marks. And next one is database, that is input, where I want to take it as an enter students database marks. And last one is a C sharp. It's been a long time when I was hearing the C sharp actually. Student C sharp, which is known as a .NET. Yeah. So now I have created, and what are the data types for the marks? Is it in integers or also floats?
Integers.
Are you sure? So every time some colleges or schools used to follow the float 99.99 marks. So every particular value has been taken as a float. So you need to mention that particular thing as a float. Float numbers. So here I'm going to take it as a float. So the second marks I need to take it as a float. And next one is a C sharp, that is a float. Just I created now. Now let us execute, guys. Let us execute and let us check it out how the result is going to be displayed. So I'm going to take it as a Raja. I want to write the name known as Raja. And just I want to write the roll number 31 and just reading the CSC department. And over here, I want to take it as a student phone number 970-397-1577 and Raj@gmail. And I want to take address HYD Hyderabad, and it is asking me to enter the Java marks actually. So that is, I want to write all the round figure marks 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. So where does this particular values has been gone actually? Now we are not getting the result. Where does it gone actually? It has stored the values actually. Now my particular values was stored in the variables. Here in the white color, if you can see, my values are storing in the variables, and now I have to call the particular variables to my particular to display the values actually. So here I'm going to take print. So here I'm going to represent like this, some design. So I'm going to create a differentiation. So here I'm going to write some information, that is a student record or student information. And just make it as now close this particular thing print, that is plus where I have to use I have to close this particular thing. Yeah. Now I need to enter my particular student marks print. I need to take the student name. So if I want to take the student name and I want to take it as I need to call another one known as a student roll number. And over here I need to take it as a student department, and print I need to take it as a student phone, and print student email ID, and print student Where is the address? Address. Okay. I need to take it as a student address. Yeah, student address. And just I printed all this particular thing, and now I want to print a student marks actually. So I need to create it as a student marks. Student marks, and just let us see. I have to take print. That is Java. I do have a Java mark, so I need to take it as Java. And next one is print. That is, what is the next one? Python. What is the next one? Web development. And if you people can see, I'm not writing enter code. Just by clicking on enter, my IntelliSense is showing me what is the next values actually. Next print. What is the next one? Database. And what is the next one? C#. So now my code was done. Now I need to close entire things over here, like print. Now I need to make I have to close entire things over here. And just let me execute the part now and let us see how does it look like. So I'm taking as Raja, roll number that is 31, and student department that is CSC, and roll number something like this. And just email that is raj@gmail, and taking a student address that is HYD, and enter the student Java marks that is how much? I want to take it 90, 90, 90, 90. And some people getting in doubt, Raj, you haven't mentioned it as a float and you're writing it as an integer numbers. Automatically, system is going to detect it as a value as 0.00 actually. So now it is taken as a C#. Now I got my particular details actually. But can you understand what exactly 90 అనేది ఏ మార్క్స్ ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్ కి వచ్చింది మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? We cannot understand. So you need to mention that particular statement actually. So here you need to mention the statement. Java marks is. And next one I do have another one known as Python marks is. And next one is web development actually. So let us see how the web development works on. So web development. And next one is database. And next one is C#. That is .NET. I can call it as .NET is. And here, if I want to provide student name, I need to provide all the statements actually. That is a student name. And next one is a student roll number. Roll number. And next one is student department. And next one is student phone number. And next one is student email ID or email address. Student email. And here we need to close the brackets. Okay. Now here we do have a student address. Yeah, just let's run this example now. And if you can get here student name, that is Rajshekhar. And here I'm going to enter the roll number, that is 31. Student department CSC. Student phone number, that is 970397157. And the email ID, that is raj@gmail. And address, that is HYD. Marks 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. I got my particular result was displayed in this particular format now. I need to calculate now addition I have to do. I need to make the calculation and as well as a average of the student actually. So to make that particular thing, I have to take it as now to calculate, there is a total total underscore marks equals to, what is that? Java. This is a formula to calculate the student marks. Java plus Python plus web plus database plus C sharp. And just now the entire things will be calculated and stores the value. And I want to create average also, that is AVG average equals to, I want to create the average, that is a total marks. I do have a total marks divided by, that is total subject is 5, so 500 into each subject consisting of 100 marks. So now I want to execute this particular thing. If I want to execute, I need to print this. So here I want to provide some information known as an total student total, student total and average. That is using as print statement. I want to take it as an total marks, and next one is print statement, that is an AVG. And here I want to provide the total marks and as well as an average. So we are going to create, that is a student total marks is, and next one is total average here, that is a student total AVG marks is. And just make it as a calculation now. We'll get the total information. This is a where every time testing process I need to enter the all time I need to enter the details. So that is one of the biggest challenge actually. 30 CSC, and next one is the phone number, that is some random number, whatever you want to give, and email, that is raj@gmail. ఇలా పద్దాకులు రాయాలంటే కొద్దిగా ఇరిటేషన్ వస్తుంది. Next one is address, that is Hyderabad, marks 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Automatically my particular student marks and total average was calculated. So this is how the small applications was created in the console. Now we have to use this particular same console into the GUI application. So this is one of the biggest challenge. Now again we need to make a blueprint. Blueprint is nothing but how many text boxes, how many labels, and how many kind of what we call buttons we require, and we need to design all the particular layout actually. So that is your assignment of as of today. మీ హోంవర్క్ ఏంటంటే ఈ రోజు మీరు డిజైన్ చేయాల్సింది, ఇందాక నేను అడిషన్ ఆఫ్ 2 numbers చెప్పాను కదా, సిమిలర్లీ దాంట్లో అడిషన్ ఆఫ్ 2 numbers లో 2 particular values you people have been calculated. Now you people has to create your particular blueprint by yourself. That is one is a student information, next one is a student marks, and next one is a student total and as well as an average. That is what you have to create by yourself. And in afternoon session I'll be adding some kind of a database configuration for the GUI application. We'll have take a class on that actually. So now once if it's created, I'll be providing the GUI blueprint. You people has to design for tomorrow. That's up to you people, whether you do it or not, that's up to you, but try to do it. So let me provide you the blueprint for this. So let me create a new particular thing. Now, however I created a GUI application, the same kind of formula and same kind of addition you have to perform for student record. So you need to take this particular thing here, a small blueprint for you. Now I want to create something labels for this or title for this. So the title is nothing but student record. And over here, I need to provide some kind of information like a student name. Next one, what is the next one I do have? Roll number. Roll number. Okay, so what is the next one?
Branch.
Student branch, yeah, student branch. Branch or department, whatever it is, DEPT. Department, and just let me create for this. I want to create some text boxes for this. So this would be 3 text boxes for you. And next one, you do have another one known as a student. What is the next one we do have in our program?
Phone number.
Acha, student phone number. So, yeah, student phone number. And next one, we do have a student
Email.
email. Okay. So, what is the next one we do have actually? Student address. Yeah, perfect. So now we people are going to create for this also you have to create your own text boxes for this. A small text boxes will be given. So total information was provided over here. Now we need to create a student subjects actually. So to create a student subject, I need to enter here some kind of a title. If you want to make, you can create your title or something you can design. So here I want to provide enter Java marks. Enter Java marks. What is the next one that we do have? Enter Python marks. And the next one is enter web development. Web development. We do have database. Yeah, we will design that particular thing. Here we will be taking as same text boxes in the same way. Yes, here. Now, next one, we do have another subjects. What are the another subjects we do have? Enter database. And what is the next one? C#. Okay. C# is .NET basically. And any another one, sixth subject? C language. Only. Why don't you add another one? C language.
CTP.
So just add another one actually. Okay, that's up to you people. So just create that particular thing here, and just say the next one is okay. So this is where I created my text boxes. And now I have to provide the information, whatever the information I'm getting, you need to add all the information at the bottom actually. When I click on the submit, automatically my result has to show at the bottom of my particular, the down of my particular thing actually. So do remember that particular thing guys, okay? So now I have to create my particular button. Submit. And I need to get the result actually. I need to get the result. Grade. Grade. And next one, we do have another one which we call it as a student marks, student total marks. Total marks. And next one is student average. So this is the one which you have to create your GUI application and you need to perform the coding part for this actually. Okay. This is an assignment for you people. If you have any other doubts or queries, you people can pin me out. I'll help you out. So this was you have to create this particular structure. So didn't any doubts on this? I think it's very clear. Yeah. I think I was expecting you people to ask a question. Like Raj, is everything is okay, but how do you generate a grade system? The grade has to be generated. My condition was if you have a particular percentage like a 80 above, 80 greater than or equals to, you need to get it as an A grade. If a particular student has to get 70 to 80, he has to get a B grade. And if a particular student getting a 60 to 70, you need to get it as an C grade. And if a particular person getting from 60 to 70, C, and 50 to 60, D grade, and less than 50, he has to get it as a fail. So what is the operators that you are going to use? No, what is the operator name? Officially, we call it as a relational operators, or we are going to call it as a comparison operators. And to use that particular relational operators, we have to use the if condition. I think you know the conditional statement, right? Why do we use a conditional statement? True or false? Sorry? We used to use a true or false, right? Conditional statements. Whether, like, yeah, we do have a two particular condition. One is a true and as well as another one is false. So we will be using as an if condition, and as well as the second one is as a else condition. At the same time, we do have a third one is if else condition, and the fourth one is nested if else conditions. So that's up to you people, whatever you want to use. You have to use it as an if condition and as well as an if else condition actually. So in the afternoon session, like after the post lunch, we will be starting this particular thing, like working on database. Now we people has to create our database, and we need to create the tables, and we need to insert the data into our particular tables actually. So in the afternoon session after the post lunch by 1:30, we'll meet again. Like we'll take a small break, like 45 minutes. Like we'll catch up at 1:30. Okay, by 1:30 we will get back to the session, and we'll start working on the database concepts, and using the database and GUI application and Python code, we'll be inserting all kind of data into our particular database. So using all the crude operation like deleting, editing, updating, searching techniques will be done in the afternoon session, guys. Is that clear? So we'll catch up at 1:30. So we'll gather one by 1:15. So if you have any other questions or doubts, you people can provide me. Like you can project me the questions if you have any other doubts. Any other doubts?
Once please explain GUI addition, sir.
GUI addition. Okay, sure. Next one. Next, any other one? Yeah, sure. I'll be sharing the code after the session. Actually, you'll be getting the complete code or project work which we are working on workshop. We will be getting the mails from the office.
Even the video, right, sir? Recording
Sorry?
video. Even the recording video you will be providing for us.
Yeah, office. I think management people will provide the recorded video also.
Okay.
Yep. So, any other questions from anyone?
Sir, we have to write three functions, sir: total marks, average, and grade.
No, not required three function. You will be using only one particular function.
Only one function. And
yeah,
for grade,
and
we have to use conditions.
conditions. That's it.
So in a submit command, we have to write only one function, one function name, sir.
Only one, or you will be writing one particular function. You will be calling that particular function to the one particular button only.
So in one particular function, I have to write total marks, average, and grade.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, can you explain me GUI addition function for?
Yeah, sure. I will be explaining within 5 minutes. Yeah. Acha. Okay. In the result page, either a candidate is pass or fail. If one particular student, one subject, if he fails, it's a fail. If he passing 5 subjects and getting one particular subject fail, the status will be in a fail actually. Got it now? So if all the subjects got a pass, then only he will get in a status known as a pass. Got it? Yeah. Any other? Rather on this? Nothing else? Someone asked me like regarding the explanation of the GUI application on addition, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, we have taken here we have taken for online members, like we have taken some kind of requirement actually in our program. My program was created like creating a 2 particular text boxes, and I need to enter some values on the text boxes actually. When I enter some values in that, and just by clicking on submit or enter, automatically my values are going to be submitted and generating some addition of 2 numbers actually. So for that, I have been created the first I created some window. And second, I created something we call it as a label. That means a title and as well as a size of the window. And the next one is here in the third part, I have been created something we call it as labels. Labels is nothing but providing some information. And the fourth one which I created here is creating some kind of text boxes. Here I created that is text box number 1 and as well as a text box number 2 actually. And the fifth one which I created is nothing but buttons actually. I created button. In this button, when I click on this particular button, I have to generate my particular result. I will show you. So here, so if you people can see, here I created one particular window actually. Here I created a window which I created this particular frame you can see is a window. And next one is here creating a title and as well as size of the particular box. This is the size and as well as the text of this particular window. And next one is creating the labels. Labels is nothing but I have been created this particular labels over here. That is enter the first name and as well as the second name. I created labels and as well as I created some kind of text boxes. To create a text box, I created text box number 1 is a variable. And to create a text box, I created a entry is a one particular box that which I created. And next one is nothing but creating entry box also I created over here. And next one is I do have a nothing but a button I have been created to display or to submit that particular value. So I need to enter some value here, 10 and as well as 20. And just click on that particular addition. I got my particular value known as 30 actually. Now, once if I created that particular thing to generate that particular answer, I got my particular, I created one particular function known as add. And here I taken as an add addition equals to text box number 1. That is nothing but I have to get my particular value from the text box. And text box 2, I need to get the value known as a text box 2 actually. So the get method is going to get the values from the text box. Directly from the text box, I have to get the values directly calculation. And to do that particular calculation, I'm going to make this particular thing here as a formula using a plus operator and making to do the integer values which I'm making as a calculation and storing the value in the addition. And I need to make this particular addition to display in my particular GUI application. I'm calling this particular function into my particular button actually. Here I'm using my particular button. Once it's my particular button has been submitted, I have to generate this particular result known as 80 has to be get my text, which I'm getting my text dot set. Whatever the value I got, I have to set as in the form of a string because always my particular button is going to submit some kind of value. That particular value is going to get my underscore text is going to store the integer value as a string value. And that particular my text is going to be calling over here into the text variable, guys. So I'll be explaining you this particular process in the afternoon session after the lunch once again, after the break. So we'll catch up at 1:30. I will explain you in detail once again. Okay, guys?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah, sure, guys.